Hi, welcome to learning about the importance of early literacy with me, Corey Fiona Ponder Sutton, here at Children's Garden Montessori in beautiful Santa Fe. Um, this is part of a class that I'm currently enrolled in, but if you're jumping on just to see some information about early literacy, welcome. The more, the merrier. I like to joke with some of the parents in my class about how early literacy is really just a foundation for their children to learn everything from here forward. They will use their literacy skills to comprehend and make sense of the world around them, and will do it well because they've had these skills so early in life. Our agenda tonight is going to be a quick introduction. We're going to talk about what early literacy is and how you can do it at home. I'm going to give you a couple of resources, and then we're going to go straight into the conclusion. So here we go. Early literacy skills are not what, we grown-ups think about when we're reading a book. We're like, oh, I'm comprehending, I'm getting all the information. We're talking more about even the ability to express an idea. Children don't necessarily have a vast vocabulary to draw upon. And so the more things that we read with them and we show has meaning, the more interested they'll be in it. For example, words exist everywhere. We're gonna go ahead and make that big for you so you can see it. Written words are a way of expressing and remembering the things that are important to our communities, to our friends, to our families. And we as adults have the power to give those words and those stories meaning and importance. The children are naturally curious, and we can expand on that curiosity by showing them where the word comes from, what image represents this or that. And early literacy builds a solid foundation on which other learning is all based. I like to have a quote, and Mem Fox is one of my favorite children's authors right now, and she says, "The fire of literacy is created by the sparks between a child, a book, and the person reading." Early literacy. The the Little Book Learners, readers.org, says early literacy means helping children develop a rich vocabulary, self-expression, reading comprehension. These are all tools to become successful readers and lifelong learners. While the National Association for the Education of Young Children, or NAEYC, makes a clear distinction that early literacy is more than just learning letters. It can help your child that pictures and words are symbols that can be interpreted, and they can expose your child to new words and thereby increasing their vocabulary and familiarizing themselves and your children with the conventions of print. Early literacy is what children know about reading and writing before they actually learn, and so that is when it is time to learn the actual reading and the actual writing. So that way it's not a completely new concept. They can view it as enjoyable because they feel comfortable learning it. When you aren't home with your children, you are your child's first teacher. And so I thought it might be nice to give you a few tips about how to keep your children's early literacy skills advancing. You can create routines. Routines help to normalize reading. It doesn't just need to be at right before bedtime, but if you love to read before bed, that will help it be enjoyable for your child. You can narrate as your child plays. Oh, are you putting the food in the oven? Is it going to cook? Who's going to eat it afterwards? Is it the elephant or is it the crow? Their play can be another kind of story, so don't shy away from adding in new words to make it more interesting for you and them. Try to curate a home library with durable books with lifelike pictures that include animals, people of all different cultures. Make and print out labels for your house. Simple things like chair, table, door. They can all imbue meaning to the simple things around your house. This helps your child to start seeing when they see words out in the real world, out in the great beyond, as it were, that they have words in their house as well. And almost more importantly, while you find yourself out and about with your child, maybe you're driving down a very slow street, maybe there's a bunch of traffic. If you see a sign, go ahead and point it out. Oh, I noticed that over there. It says Joe's. Who else do we know named Joe? Oh, is it your friend at school? That's so great. When they start seeing you giving the importance to the words around them, they will give these words importance as well. The most important tip I have to give you about making early literacy skills attainable for your child is to make it fun and normalized. If you are not creating a space that's comfortable for you, they will know. They're not going to find reading fun if you're trudging through the same book. But if you get out your newspaper and you're reading it and they say, hey, what's this picture of a truck on the newspaper? You can read them that story and they will say, hey, that was all there on that one newspaper? For our resources, we have a few different ones. We have the Santa Fe Public Library. We have so many story times and so many things that exist that you can just walk in and get. I highly recommend bringing your child into the library with you. Children's librarians are much more patient than one can imagine. They have tons of books and ideas about how to do projects. And if you have a specific idea about a subject that you want your child to read about, I think you'll find that this is going to be an easy way for you to get there. I also think that a second great resource is themaginationlibrary.com. This resource is funded by Dolly Parton. Yes, the Dolly Parton. They send out free books to families for them to keep forever and ever, and you too can receive them in the mail. And while this might be less regular, the PJ Library, which is a Jewish organization, sends out free families to books as well. While these may have morals and values that are Judaic centered, I have found every book that I have read from them can apply to anybody, anywhere. So I guess in conclusion, it's really just that maybe as adults, we don't necessarily recognize that there are things we can do daily that will increase our children's chances at having a higher ability of obtaining like a social and of attaining a educational standard that we hope for them. When you see something written out in the world, call attention to it, bring it to your child's attention, help them to read it with you. And I find that more often than not, pretty quickly, your children will start pointing it out to you instead. Hey, I see that sign over there has my name in it. I see my letter. Is that a C? C is for Corey, so I know it must be for me. These are some easy ways that you can work on early literacy at home as well. Find the time to read on your own with your child. When you enjoy reading, your children will find it enriching as well. Point out signs. Find the durable board books to keep on hand. Sing, draw, write, be creative with your child and encourage them to do this as well. Point things out in a book. Ask questions about the story you just read. Bring pencils and a small notebook on nature walks. Let your child sketch what they see and tell you about it. And write their words for them. I like to use these little bitty clipboards whenever I'm taking children on a nature walk so that they have the ability to write and sketch all of the things that they see. Please, if you do anything, just make sure that you're enjoying it too, because they're going to notice. And when you like a thing, they're going to like a thing too. So please enjoy reading with your kid. Have a nice night.